What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to our confessionals. This is the part where we get into it. We get deep. We take time out for God. We take time out for ourselves. We digress. And we write in our journal. I decided to do this um part of the vlogs, part of the podcast, to really dig deep on how I choose episodes, because a lot of people will say, oh, you kind of all over the place. No, I'm not all over the place. What it is that I have real conversations with real people. But going back into it, so you'll see this on the vlog channel, and you'll also see this on our podcast channel as well. But digging deep into it, I love to journal. That's one of the things that I do like to do, and I love to reflect because I need to know exactly what I as a person need to work on. I as a person need to pray to God about. I as a person need to level up as an individual. This is how I have a relationship with not only God first, but also a relationship with myself. One of the things that I do struggle with is giving myself grace. Anybody who knows me, knew me, that one of the things that I did struggle with, or do struggle with, is giving myself grace. And what I mean by that is not only just like the business side, or, just in general, when it comes down to people, when it comes down to my purpose, when it comes down to my podcast, when it comes down to purpose, when it comes down to passion, money, job. Sometimes I don't give myself enough credit to be like, girl, did you not see that you did it?
I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do more right than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. Snoop Dogg, you a bad motherfucker, cuz.
Always striving. But as a person, you need to sit back and really evaluate your triumphants, or the things that you've been through, got through, and continuing on. One of the things, and I think I said this in the beginning of this video, is that one of the things that I am grateful for, and that's how I journal, getting into it, that I am still able to feel. Let's write that down. I'm grateful for that, because and this is why this is part of the blog too. One of the things that made me emotional this morning was because I thanked God for being able to still feel. Because in the first 10 years ago, I went completely numb, a mute, when I found out that my brother passed away. For 30 days, people would be speaking to me, and I literally could not hear anything that they were saying. I was looking at them. I was probably shaking my head, but I would completely black out. And then I would catch up after maybe a couple of sentences within, I don't even know how long I blacked out for. But it was just a complete numb feeling. And now I'm back to feeling again. Within the 10 years, I've been through a lot. My grieving, I finally, after 5 years from my brother's passing, I was able to break down, to really like get a whole feel of, oh my God, like I've been grieving for all these years. I've been numb for 5 years of pain. I've been numb when it came down to my feelings, of putting my feelings in front of people or expressing myself about it, because for 5 years I couldn't do it. Why? Because I'm the oldest child. I had to make sure mommy and daddy was okay, because I'm like, I kind of not felt like it was my fault, but I felt like I could have prevented certain things that my brother was going through, or prevented that whole day, or the night before, because he was crying out in certain ways. As far as mentally, I knew something was going on with him, to make him want to use drugs. So, just all of that in one, just reading back, going back to that day. And so I had this thing where I needed to be there for my mom. I needed to be there for my dad. I needed to be there for my brother and my sister. This affected my family in a way that it was just like every little thing turned around the corner. Christmas, we just spent Thanksgiving together. Our last Christmas, my mom and dad was not in the state. They had to drive 1,000 miles of saying, oh my God, where's my child? What happened to my baby? My sister buried my brother on her birthday. My sister's birthday is on the 16th. My nephews no longer have a dad right now. My sister at the time, sister in love at the time, is like, oh my God, I gotta raise these kids by myself. My brother, literally seeing my brother in a body bag. So it's just like all of these things that I seen that, oh my God, I have to be the one that's gonna have to be strong again. Remind you, I just told you in the 7 years before that, I was strong for everybody because we were going so much through a transition. Going back to what I was saying before I got so emotional with my brother and his story before he actually passed away. My mother, I've never ever seen my mother. My brother was going through that, case or whatever. I never seen my mother ever helpless in my entire life. That was the first time in my entire life that I see my mother helpless and couldn't help her child. So all of these things are coming back full circle, and I'm like, oh my God, this is another time when my mother feels helpless. I need to jump in. I need to do. At the time when she felt that way again, I stepped in. I was just explaining to my homeboy, like, yo, I had to step in as a woman for my family at the age of 25, at the age of 20, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and then you know what? It's so crazy because I'm not actually, when I think back of the fives, because I'm a number person, I was entering into a new decade, or I was entering into a new season, if that makes sense. And the level of strength, when I tell you only but God, baby, the level of strength that I had to endure every 5 years, it seems like, baby, this thing ain't for the weak. It's not for the weak. And that's why I say my relationship with God is, I don't even know the word. Like, I need it. I have to have it. Because, baby, not even my mama and daddy couldn't help me at times. So, even my family couldn't help me at times. I had to lean on to God. That's all I had. In so many different situations, in so many different ways and moments, that I had to be like, you know what? God, I'm just going to call your name. I don't even know what to say. Okay, I don't even know what to say. Some situations left me so speechless, baby, that I had to only call God's name. That's it. Literally just call God's name. People think, listen, I had to just call God's name because I didn't know how to feel. Thank God I still can feel, because there was a time where I was numb, like I was just telling y'all. But then I'm like, it's just like, I don't know, I've never been paralyzed. God, please don't ever put that on me. Please, God. But it felt like, you thank God that pinch me in the movie. Pinch me just so I can make sure that I can feel. I still have a feeling. But I say that to say to this morning, I was crying because I said, God, thank you. Thank you that I'm still able to feel.